1898 by Polish chemist Marie Curie and her husband Pierre Curie, radium seemed to be the cure to all things. It started off just as a cure for cancer, but because of the strange bluish-greenish glow, it was made into glow-in-the-dark paint. Unfortunately for a group of women working in the watch dial factories in New Jersey, Connecticut, and Illinois, strange things started happening. These girls then were known as ghost girls because of the illumination on their dresses and lips, but now are more formally known as radium girls. But who are these forgotten figures in history?
Hi, I'm Mekenna, and this is my first date at the wristwatch factory here in Waterbury, Connecticut.
My tongue is green. Oh my god, that's nasty. Ugh, I'm out.
Keenan hated the taste and the texture of the paint so much that she refused to work with it, resulting in getting her fired several days later. At the start of its discovery, radium was used in everyday products such as toothpaste, facial creams, and tonic water, and even infused in pillowcases. Because of the shortness of time, not a lot of research was done on radium before its released to the public. Unfortunately, not knowing the long-term side effects, doctors used this to shrink tumors and cure cancers, not knowing that it may have been better for the patient if they had had the tumor. Radium, when used in beauty products, was known as liquid shine because it had a bright glow, so the person would look radiant. It wasn't until 1917, when the U.S. entered World War I, when things started to take a turn for the worse. Because of the high demand for illuminated timepieces for soldiers going off to war, factories popped up in Connecticut, Illinois, and New Jersey, hiring young women to paint watch dials. Their ages ranged anywhere between 11 to 20. The girls used a special technique called lip pointing technique. When girls painted, they needed a very fine tip for precise lines and angles, so they would put the brush in their mouth, close their lips, and run the brush along their lips to create a fine point. They would then dip the brush in the paint and repeat the process. Some girls were afraid and asked if it was okay to ingest this strange glowing material.
Ew, is this good to eat?
Their bosses, clearly oblivious and unaware that radium was banned, told them it was totally safe to handle.
Yes, of course, it's very tasty.
Of course, today's researchers know that it wasn't. Everything seemed to be smooth sailing until September of 1922, when Molly Maggia, a 24-year-old woman in Orange, New Jersey, started to not feel good. She started to experience mouth sores, ulcers, and toothaches, as well as joint pain and muscle aches. A few days later, a doctor came in to pull the tooth. But with the tooth came a surprise. Her jaw as well.
And I think my jaw is falling off. Stewie, what is happening to this thing?
The doctor said her teeth looked moth-eaten and were so decayed she could have been a walking corpse. At first, professional doctors and nurses thought that she was suffering from syphilis, which is a sexually transmitted disease, unknowing that she had died from radiation poisoning, the thing that the girls worked with every day.
It wasn't until 1925 when Grace Ray and 4 other women, Tinta Megan McDonald, Edna Hussman, Albina Larice, and Catherine Scobb, filed for a lawsuit against their previous employers. Finally, in 1928, their victory was declared. Unfortunately, none of the women were alive to relive their glory. Sadly, researchers kept on using radium in the early 1960s when the dangers of radium could no longer be glimpsed over.
So, Molly, how do you feel about the whole situation? I often wish I would have thanked him afterwards, or else I would have ended up like so many other gals.
Guys, it's so hard to... How many watch dials are you gonna pick today? 100! How many watch dials are you gonna paint today? 4 billion! How many watch dials are you gonna paint today? 100!
Go.
Okay, seriously guys, who ate my radium? Well, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Whoever did it, y'all need to like confess me right now, cause yeah, it's disgusting. It's actually disgusting. It's really disgusting. You can't be eating that. I don't know. It wasn't. You're gonna die. Yeah, that's. Mama, I want cookie. No, diabeto. Robot to kitchen. Ah! Let's fall downstairs.